this video, Chris Blore is going to show you how to measure feed on offer in a green pasture. Knowing how much pasture you have available to your stock can guide you as to how they will perform and can be used for feed budgeting into the future.
So in the paddock I've done a visual assessment and I reckon there's about 700 kilograms per hectare, which is about 2 centimetres of a moderately dense pasture. But to make it more accurate, I'm going to use pasture stick. And to make it random, I am going to throw the stick so that I take out any bias that I might have by picking the longest parts. Now, if you don't have a stick and you're using an MLA ruler, a simple tip might be to walk along and always stick it on the tip of your left boot after every 10 paces to make it random, so that you get a random allocation across the paddock and a true representation. So we're in the paddock to do a pasture assessment. For the pasture assessment, we're going to need a MLA ruler or a pasture stick, an assessment sheet to write it down, and a pen. So we've thrown our stick and this is where it's randomly landed. So we're not interested in dry stalk or any manure or thistles that are on the ground. We're only interested in our green feed on offer. So we take our stick, stand it up, slide our finger down until we hit our green feed and measure our measurement. So walking along, we've taken our 10th step. We place our ruler on the end of our toe and measure down until we hit our measurement.
Chris is using a pasture recording sheet which you can download from the Feeding Livestock website in the Pasture Resources and Tools section. Otherwise, you can just use a sheet of paper with a column on the left with numbers 0 to the highest pasture height you are likely to measure, and enough room to record your measures and do the sums. As you walk across the paddock and either throw a stick or pace and place the ruler, put a tick next to the height you have measured. We recommend you do at least 25 or 50 measures in a paddock to get an average.
So we've been through, we've ticked our boxes as you saw us collecting our measurements. So we go along, we're looking at it going 1 to 2 centimetres worth of pasture across the paddock. To use this sheet effectively, we count up our number of ticks in each row. So we've got 4, 11 and 10, which gave us our 25 measurements. Now we're multiplying our 4 zeros, so we had some bare ground to give us 0, our 11 ones to give us 11, and our 10 at 2 to give us 20. Down the bottom here, that gives us a total of 25 and a 31, which works out to be from our total height by our total number of measurements of 1.24 centimetres, which on the MLA pasture ruler gives us about probably 600. It's just under 2, so it's about 600 kilos per hectare.
As Chris showed you, to get the average height, we add the number of ticks across the row and then multiply this with the height to put into the last column. Do this for each row. Then add the 2 columns. Divide the last column, which in this example is 31, and by the total number of measures, 25, to give the average height. In this case, 1.24 centimetres, which is about 600 kilos of dry matter per hectare. As this is a good quality actively growing pasture, the pasture ruler indicates that this amount would be suitable for dry sheep, mid-pregnant ewes and young sheep growing at 125 grams per day. You can find the recording sheet, how to order a MLA pasture ruler and other feed budgeting resources on the Feeding Livestock website.